we are coming today with touching base on the new moon in Libra. So first and foremost, welcome to my channel if you're new. I am Lady Virgo. I am an empath. I am not an astrologer, but I love astrology, and I am going to be a life learner of astrology. Every person that I come in contact in my life teaches me something, either a lesson or a blessing. I either gain wisdom or insight, or I gain it through all things, whether they be lessons or blessings. But we're talking about Libra, so it's about relationships, justice, balance, harmony. So you empaths, as we're going through the intensity, many of you may be finding that it's difficult to get a solid night's sleep, and you also may be finding that it's you're sensitive to light right now. We do have a lot of spikes of Schumann coming in, which is the energy from the sun mostly, which I call Christ consciousness. And what I'm really feeling today is resting when you need to, because I've been noticing within myself, like, why am I so tired? And when we cover the Sabian Symbol today for this new moon coming into fruition on the 6th, 7th, depending on where you are in Libra, that Sabian Symbol is huge. So it's overcast where I am today, but it's still just like the light. I've been getting up in the morning, like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, which is not me because I'm not a morning person. So if you're noticing a shift in your sleep cycle, it's par course to what we have going on energetically on the planet Earth, as the human species is going through a huge evolution. And how I love to share astrology is how we can work with the current energies instead of allowing them to get stuck or make us feel stuck. So I'm feeling a strong energy of feeling like a lot of us are feeling the tension brewing. We feel like, as an empath, you may not be able to pinpoint what it is, but there's an intensity happening within the human race, and there's no doubt about that. I couldn't even be in the house today. I had to come outside and ground, feeling dizziness from this last Schumann spike that we have still spikes in it showing up currently. So if you're experiencing the dizziness, or if you're experiencing tension in your shoulders and your neck, just be really gentle with yourself. I had a lot of things coming through to me, so I did write a few notes. This new moon is happening at 13 degrees 24 minutes, so we'll be sharing the 14-degree Libra Sabian Symbol. That's how you do it with the Sabian Symbol. So humanity's at this crossroad, and I think many of us, even if we can't pinpoint it, we feel it. So listen to your body, rest when you need to rest. It seems like we're at this crossroads in this choice point for all of humanity. Which path are we going to take? Are we going to choose the path of freedom, or are we going to choose the simple path where the tyranny, the suppression and oppression that we've been witnessing lifetime after lifetime, shoving us into this chute where we feel like the pressure that we don't have a choice? And that's what's happening, and that's what we're witnessing with the select few trying to put people into fear. And what happens when we go into fear is we feel the tension, and we feel like a pressure of that we don't have a choice, and we do. We do have a choice. Choose your sovereignty every time. Choose what resonates with your heart, your soul, your intuition. And know that the universe and God always will support those who have to make that hard decision, to where if they have to leave their job because they're forced to take something upon their body, listen to the part of you that says, no, this don't feel right. I know easier said than done, but it's critical, because we are at a critical point with this crossroad energy of choosing justice, the Libra energy, choosing freedom, choosing beautiful things in life, because we have to look to Venus, which is going to be in Scorpio, the ruling planet of Libra, of finding beauty and morsels of the beauty as we're going through this pressure cooker of a time with humanity. Another thing that's super significant, I shared a little bit the other day, and now the sun's coming right through at that light. I can barely even see, so hopefully, definitely sensitive to the light right now. So there's, at the time of this new moon, where the sun and the moon come together, that is a new moon in the sign of Libra. We also have Mercury retrograde, which is our messenger of the gods. It's communication, it's intellect. Retrograde motion, so reflecting upon the things. I just shared a video yesterday on it's an important time to go inner. It's not really a time to be out where there's so many people unaware and causing projections of warring, because we have Mars, the planet of war and discord, also in this stellium with the new moon, and it's coming into a square. Wow, does that breeze feel good? It's coming into a square with not only Pluto, which is the dark hidden things, the planet of regeneration, the planet of the death and rebirth, but also the sister of Mars, which is Eris. And I just realized this. Eris is the sister of Mars, so there's that energy there with Pluto where it's deep, where we're wanting to fight for our justice. But I don't mean fight as in a physical fight, right? It's by going into your inner sanctuary and being still and reflecting upon what is truly happening right now in humanity, so that we can rise above it, so we can see that there is a choice. Although those that think they're in power are making it seem like this pressure of the square energy that you do not have a choice, I actually encourage you to pause and make sure that you do realize that going into your inner sanctuary and reflecting upon this, that we do have a choice. So don't be funneled into a chute where you feel like, that's what happens with fear. You feel like there's no way out. You feel this constrictive energy where you don't have any intellect or thought about, oh, I do have a choice. I can choose not to fear. I can allow the energy as an empath, old soul, to flow through me to pick up on the collective fear, but I'm not going to become it, because I do have a choice. I do have an opportunity to make the choice that's best for me in this crossroads type of energy. So it's a free choice point, guys, that the cosmos are supporting us to make sure that we're not pressured into making a choice that goes against our own will and our own intuition. So pay attention to that. Rest and relax. That's another thing, because Libra season is a time of introspection, to where we can balance out the Aries and Libra energy, right? That's the choice point of what is best for me and what is best for the all. But make sure you're following your own compass. So from my beautiful book that was given to me as a gift, I'm just going to briefly share, and then we'll go on to the Sabian symbol. The sun creates harmoniously and unimaginatively. Oh, what was that? Oh, it's just a branch. So Libra, the sun and Libra are convinced that the best things happen when people and situations are comfortable and harmonious. They endeavor to make peace between people by seeing every perspective, aiming for fair treatment on all sides. So there is the scales. With the sun in fall here, it is important not to accept second or even third best for the sake of a quiet life. So this isn't the time to necessarily just go with the flow with the narrative that's happening on the earth plane, guys. So the sun in Libra is telling us to make sure we're listening to our heart and soul. It is important to not accept second or even third best for the sake of a quiet life. Librans must have the courage to maintain their own goals in life. The moon in Libra. This reassuring manner of people with the moon in Libra seeks to ease the impact of sudden events and other people's dramas. They are never happier than when keeping life on an even keel, wanting emotional balance. While living in peace is important, we must avoid becoming trapped in someone else's view of what peace means. Just sitting around is in mere stagnation. Genuine peace actively creates space for good things to happen. So when you're sitting around in your stillness, don't just sit there in blankness feeling helpless. Do your inner work. Reflect upon the things that we're seeing. Reflect upon the injustices that we're seeing. And it is not about political color. This is about actually your free sovereign will. And it's a spiritual war, because those that think they're in power, which are just energy vampires, are wanting to dominate over us. They're wanting us to be in fear, for us to make decisions out of fear, thinking we don't have an alternative, and we do. So remember that. So Mercury in Libra is about communication. Mercury in Libra creates the impression that they may have an intelligent understanding of all they apply their minds to. They put others at ease, so people listen to their ideas. Preferring not to argue outright, they are careful not to cause upset by saying the wrong thing. This does not mean they change their minds easily, just that they are waiting for the most skillful time to speak. So again, pay attention to when you feel like you need to speak up, because right now it's about equality and justice for all of humanity, and to put an end to these people who are trying to put us into fear all the time. So this feeling with this Libra energy of balancing our intellects with our hearts is super important right now, because there probably will be a lot of mind chatter. And that's why I believe, because it's all squaring with Eris and Pluto, there's going to be some things that are, and Pluto's going direct the same day, there's going to be some deep hidden things that have to come to the light. Don't attach to those things even more than what we've already witnessed. Observe them. Still go into your inner sanctuary to seek your answers, and do not get emotionally attached to what we may see surface, because Pluto wants things to go deep and to uproot them, so we can go into a more of the rebirth energy of Pluto, right? Last planet that we have there in the stellium happening in the new moon Libra energy is Mars. Those born with Mars in Libra feel the need to address all difficulties and to restore balance, moving away from uncertainty as quickly as possible. Should danger seem to threaten, they will take up the cause of justice. Mars is uncomfortable and in detriment here, so these people must be careful that their actions do not prove counterproductive. So don't act out of that first fire energy, right? Mars is represents Aries, the opposite sign of Libra. I caution against acting hastily out of just that feel like I have to do something, because you witness injustices. We're going to see a lot of injustices purging and coming to the surface, so pay attention to that. Otherwise, they may upset the proper solution and find themselves fighting for the wrong cause. So this is not the time to act, speak. Again, I just feel it's a huge time for introspection, and how we change the world is by changing our own perspectives. Tiredness coming up again, and then when I read the Sabian symbol for this Libra new moon, it's important that we rest and recharge, because many of us are seeing the red October. Now, I don't logically need to go down the rabbit hole to figure out what they mean by that, but it's very symbolic, as above, so below. of the red October, Mars with this new moon in stellium in Libra, squaring Pluto in Capricorn with Eris, the sister of Mars, means we're going to see with our two eyes some gnarly things coming to the light. And our best course of action, our best defense against the injustices and against the dark hidden things is to, like I said on my video yesterday, growing a strong foundation within yourself, not allowing your intellect to go into fight or flight or fear, dropping down into your heart, trusting and having faith in a bigger perspective of why we are going through the things we're going through in this death and rebirth on the planet of Earth with all of humanity, right? Those that have been ruling us and dominating over us and lying to us for years don't want to lose their power. How do they lose their power? When we go into our heart space and go, wait a minute, we've all been living a lie. They've been plotting us against each other, meanwhile feeding off of us, right? And now is the time for justice. So I believe it will appear to be even more gnarly. So meditate, contemplate, and keep trusting. This is the time of great faith, right? Building your spiritual muscles. So we're doing the Libra 14-degree Sabian symbol because that's how you do it when it's at 13 degrees 24 minutes. 13 also is known to be a critical degree in astrology, so it's very significant. It's very powerful. It's also pointing to this choice point that we are at in our evolution. And 13 degrees is a very pivotal choice point for all of us. So pay attention. A noon siesta. The key word is recuperation. So rest, man. Recharge, because this fiery, quote, Red October, they're calling it, is going to be intense. Recuperate. Take a nap. Do what your body is telling you to do. Talk to your body. Listen to it. Listen to what it needs. I'm taking a nap right after I record this. I've been up since early. Rest and rejuvenate, guys, because this is a time for us to balance out this equality of maybe not biting into the fear, but charging our batteries and letting our lights, our spiritual lights and our auras rejuvenate. Also seeing a lot of people in the comments on YouTube and different places, Telegram, where a lot of people think that we're not in a war, but we are. We're in a significant war right now, and this war is different than what most people are accustomed to seeing. We're in a war spiritually. We're in a war as a human species against major psychological warfare. Major psychological warfare. We're kind of in a war of technology being used and utilized in a negative way. Negative meaning for control, putting out frequencies that aren't healthy for all of the planet, including ourselves and animals. And so really pay attention to that. Red October. I never went down the rabbit hole to even see what that means. I don't care what it means. It was so symbolic to me when I realized we're at this crossroad and choice point. This new moon is about planting a seed on how we're going to go forward in more equality, in more balance. Rejuvenation. Take it easy. This symbol speaks to the unconscious attunement with the universe and to the achievement of a level of competence that permits occasional inattention to detail and duty without worrying that things will go wrong and fall apart. Again, that's coming up, like I shared, of do not be emotionally attach to what we see come to the surface as Pluto helps us bring the dark hidden things up. The image of a noon siesta suggests rest and relaxation in natural and rhythmic sequence with the work and your responsibilities. Implicit in the images is the idea that that success has its rewards and that it is important to live a well-balanced life. On the positive aspect of this new moon in Libra, at its highest, this symbol represents extraordinary skill in organizing and managing the daily affairs of living. So we got to have balance. We were taught as a society, do physically, that's the only thing productive. No, sometimes being the most productive is by taking an afternoon siesta, right? Resting when you need to, taking a soaky in your salt bath, getting out and getting your root on the earth. On the lower aspect of this, apathy, boredom, laziness, neglect of responsibility. I feel it's our biggest responsibility right now to empower ourselves, to remember that we're sovereign, to remember we do have a choice, even though they're pushing people into a corner where you think you don't have a choice. Trust, have faith in the divine, that if you have to walk away from something that's infringing you and telling you you have to accept it within your body, and it don't feel right with your soul, walk away and trust. Trust. The ascent is on living a balanced life and taking care of your health, and that is emotional health as well. You may need time to rebuild your energy or take a mental break from things. I've stepped back from so much, right? We're in this doorway of Aquarius, and there's such an information overload. It used to consume me, and I'm doing so much better about stepping back from that. I don't need to know the fine details. The Red October, to me, when I see that coming up, I'm like, I don't need to know exactly the time and the hour, right? Because we don't anyway, and there's nobody here that does. The opportunity with this new moon in Libra, excuse me, is balancing work with pleasure. Learn to pace yourself, slow down, and relax. Guard against feeling guilty if you aren't being productive 24 hours a day. Oh my God, that is so powerful. Don't neglect your physical and your psychological needs. The stepping stones for this new moon in Libra are rest. Rest, because the intensity is going to build, guys. We're going to have a full moon, I believe, later this month that's making some hard aspects as well. So rest and rejuvenate. That is our time right now to balance out within us. Rest, relaxation, sleep, recuperation, recovery, healing, inner reorientation. So Mercury retrograde. A lot of us have fear coming up. A lot of us have wounds coming up. Don't beat yourself down. Observe it. Keep releasing it. Intermission, leisure, time out, break, interlude, recess, go inner. Go out and physically pick up some things that you may need. Go inner and recharge your batteries, because we have a lot more intensity building, and that's what happens when we're in this death and rebirth with this energy and needing more justice and balance. Is we have to, because it's intense, right? If you're an empath like myself, I'm fucking exhausted. So instead of me and my sun, and my sun is Virgo, so I'm ruled by Mercury. That's not my chart ruler, but I tend to go into overanalyze and everything, and I'm getting so much better about not doing that. And I don't have to be productive because I am a double earth sign 24/7, because sometimes, like I said, being productive is like this shared with the Sabian symbol. Relaxing, rejuvenating, taking a siesta whenever you can. And if it's somebody, you know, if you're somebody that's out there in the workforce and you're around people 24/7 and you're an empath, go into your vehicle on your lunch break and refuel, take some centering breaths, right? Release. So what else we got here coming up for this new moon in Libra? I always work with the highest, which is God, creator of the universe. So I just thought I would share that with you guys if you're new. Strong faith and gaining your balance, and it's like equilibrium, right? With the light coming in, again, I was good, really good for 2 days, and then I'm dizzy again today. So breathe through it. What else for this Libra new moon? Second house, owning. So this is about Venus energy. Venus not only rules Taurus and what we value, but it also rules Libra. And it's more in a way of justice, balance, harmony. Do we value that we believe that we're all sovereign and we all deserve a truly equal, right? The equilibrium coming up again, a truly balanced life, because we've been hijacked for generations of these small percentage of people who want to dominate over us, which does not leave, you know what, too, valuing second house. It's also about, what do you truly value? This is coming up a lot. We have to go into our heart space. It's not just about monetary. It's about strong foundations, what we build our lives on. And right now, a lot of that is being dismantled, whether it be losing a job because you're being forced to do something against your will, because you do have a choice, whether it be everything you've been taught in a school system now coming to the surface to go, is that truly what I value in life? So it's about owning it. It's about accountability. Second house. You know, Taurus has also got the planet of Uranus, about quick changes, earth changes, volcanic uptick. Everything's being rearranged. Everything must die for us to go forward in a new way. And we're just these old souls and empaths here at this time, ushering in great changes on the earth plane. So it's intense, right? As an empath, we have to really truly value ourselves as sovereign beings, trust our gut and our intuition and our body to make the right choices and decisions, and never get pressured into thinking that you don't have a choice, because you do. We just have to have a lot of blind faith, right? We have to have a lot of faith in the unseen right now. And by all means, speak up when you feel you need to. But it ain't a time to be warring with people who have a different perspective, that aren't willing to pull the scales back from their eyes, because perhaps this isn't their time to. So, which chakra is coming up with this Libra new moon energy? Grief. Wow, heart chakra. Look at, we got about owning it is green. And now we have the grief chakra, heart chakra. This is where you truly, if you're like me, you're grieving what you're witnessing on the earth plane with humanity right now. Allow yourself to grieve. Don't get sucked into overthinking that you don't hold value because you go against the freaking narrative that's playing. Right now, people are being censored. People are getting shut down. They are literally using a psychological warfare to try to shut people up that have a different perspective, that aren't going with the narrative, that aren't going with the agendas. Never feel like you don't matter, that you don't hold value, because you do. A lot of us black sheeps and old souls are going against that narrative, and we're being silenced and censored. Grieve. Emotions are healthy if we allow them to flow through us. You could be grieving what you thought life was. You could be grieving witnessing what is taking place with humanity right now. You may be grieving from past lives. I've had this come up. Atlantis energy. Grieve. Something that's helping me tremendously right now is the 528 hertz. I'm at this point right now, I can't even listen to a lot of the videos that I normally listen to. I just have to turn on music and allow that. That's another thing too, the Libra energy. Creativity. Music. Writing. Arts. Find what you find value in that, being the planet Venus, being that beauty. There is actually beauty when we allow grief to transform us. So if you have a lot of grief coming up right now, you're not alone. I have been. A lot of tears and a lot of purging. So we'll just do a couple more here, and then I'm getting ready to go take a nap. I got up too early. The vertigo is pretty intense right now too, and again, I felt really good for the last 2 days. Then we had that Schumann spike, but on top of that, they sprayed the shit out of the sky the same day. So who knows really what it is, but I'm going to say ascension for the most part, because God's got me, right? I've been praying a lot about that. Let no weapon formed against us prosper, okay? So whatever it is you need to do right now. We got the Tower, guys. This is about death and rebirth and regeneration, the Tower moment. This new moon is a time to plant seeds, and we're going to feel the tension with the square with Pluto and Eris in Capricorn. Divine intervention with the Tower card. Death, rebirth. Rebirth is painful. Death is painful. That's where the grief is coming up. We have to allow the grief and the Tower to fall, to not attach to what we're witnessing with our third eyes consume us. In order for regeneration, in order for us to work with this energy to evolve us all into a more fair, balanced, harmonious humanity. That is our messages. That is a beautiful, beautiful Libra new moon energy, although intense. So plant your seeds with this new moon. Go to your inner sanctuary. Refrain from over-analyzing outward appearances, because I am assuming with it being Red October, it's going to be intense, and we're just at the beginning of it. And like the Sabian symbol says, focus on rejuvenation, recuperating yourself, and resting. I send this to you guys with so much love. Shalom, shalom.